Thank you. All right, Lines is good. We chilling. All right, man. Episode 131, man, of the Masters in Creation podcast, where everyone is a master of their own creation, man. We have another special guest today. You know the deal. This man, Pittsburgh-based artist, as well as the CEO and founder of his own record label, man. I'm gonna let him get into every bit of that. Man of many hats. Here we got Jordan Montgomery in the building, man. What's going on, bro?
Thank you for the introduction.
My man, absolutely, bro.
113?
131.
Oh, 130.
Yes, sir, bro.
Okay. Let's say 13 is my favorite number, but it's still kind of in there with the 131.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hold on. Let me see the mic real quick. Yeah, all right, cool. All right, yeah, I was about to say, like, picking you up now. We all good. But yeah, man, appreciate you, bro, for the, for just like, taking the time, being able to come through. And again, bro, just with the research I did prior, bro, like your career is, you're almost a decade in the game, damn near.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You coming up on, damn near 10 years of this, and I'm just kind of like, peeling back the layers, and I think it'll be, very good just for people who may not be totally familiar with, like, the entirety of the story, and just know everything that, like, you got going on. I'm just kind of getting into the nitty gritty of that.
Yeah,
though.
got you. Yeah,
absolutely.
10 plus years in, still got the baby face and everything,
Facts.
so it don't feel as taxing, but yeah, man, I started out, writing has always been a passion of mine. And that really came from just being so immersed in, like, stories. Like I used to go to the library and take out like stacks and stacks of books because I would just love like how writers were able to bring people into their worlds with their words.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Even with like TV shows and movies, like I was just always just so like attached to like the storytelling element.
Of course.
So like as I got older, writing was like an outlet for me. You know what I'm saying? Where I would just like try to write my own short stories and try to write my own like little movie scripts and plays and things like that. But what I really began to like was poetry, because I love that poetry, like you're able to say so much in like such a short amount of time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a very condensed way to like just tell a story and just like talk about your thoughts and feelings.
Right.
So yeah, I in high school, it was actually in middle school,
Well, no, yeah, bro, no, I love it.
Yeah,
No, I love it,
I got
and
this
like,
story
no,
down
that's what I'm
pat.
saying.
Yeah.
Keep that propensity, bro. Like, don't let that go nowhere.
All right, bet.
But where in Pittsburgh are you from? Just for people who might not know.
Got you. I kind of grew up all over. I spent most of my time at Hazelwood.
Actually. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I went to school, and that's where my grandmother's house was and everything. But yeah, I kind of just lived all over, which to kind of expand upon that, I think that allowed me to be very, just exploratory and creative. I know sometimes in Pittsburgh, we like to stay to like our particular sides of town,
Right.
whatever, but I felt like, I was kind of all over the place. We moved a lot, which allowed me to see so many different sides of the city and be like, there's really cool stuff just like everywhere. You know what I mean? I still kind of keep that, spirit today.
Facts. So primarily, Hazelwood, you said like.
Primarily Hazelwood,
Okay, for sure, bro. And then just like as far as your family goes, like, is there anyone that you necessarily draw just like inspiration from creatively? Like, are you kind of like the first of your kind in your family as far as like what you're doing goes, or just like even the propensity to like just pursue a career in the arts and entertainment? And I'm still listening too. No, just keep like,
I'm trying to think. The more I thought about it recently, there have been a lot of examples. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Right.
probably one of the first people to really like stay at it for this long. But like, I remember growing up, like, my grandma, you know what I mean, my mom, like they sang in the church choir, right? You
Right.
know, so like there was that like musical, like, kind of background.
it always
right?
starts in the church
It
though,
always
like,
starts
which
in
is
the church,
crazy. Yeah.
straight from the soul.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's one piece of it. Going back to my grandma and my mom, actually, they're both very creative people, more like hands-on. Like my
Okay.
grandma would like make clothes and stuff.
Okay,
like
there
that.
you
She
go.
was a
All right, okay.
seamstress. And then my cousin on my stepdad's side actually was in an R&B group called Crave. They were a Pittsburgh-based R&B group. They got like really
Crave.
popular in like the 2000s.
I was about it. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds vaguely familiar. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if like maybe like one of like our past guests have like mentioned that, or like
Probably, yeah. They
maybe,
had,
but
like,
Crave,
Mandy on
all
there
right.
or something,
Okay.
But yeah, so I remember like CDs that they would have, they would play them, in the house and everything, and like I remember them pulling it up to like our little family function and like the Hummer limo and stuff. So they was definitely like bubbling for a minute. They actually did a thing with like like Pretty Ricky. They did like a collab with them, and like some of the members were like involved in Pretty Ricky as well. So like that was a pretty big moment for the family as well. At that time, I didn't like know I wanted to do music, but that is like probably the closest example.
Of course. I mean, just like when you were watching like some of your family. Well, because like I mean, you said you were young, so like I guess you weren't really processing the fact that I mean someone in your family was fucking with Pretty Ricky, like you know what I mean. But it's like I mean from like what you can remember, like what was I mean that experience like just seeing someone in your family like kind of like reach that level in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, I mean it was cool. Like I didn't really understand the full grasp of it.
Right, of course. How old do you think you were? Just like
probably like 8, 9,
yeah,
10,
nah, niggas ain't
10,
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, niggas are it's like, oh yeah, like you aren't a student of the industry at 8.
And I mean, it was really cool just seeing the family get behind it. Like I said, my stepdad would place their CDs in the house all the time. My uncle, I mean, he still has like all the memorabilia and all the pictures and everything in his place too. So like the support is definitely there, which I still feel that to this day.
Right, definitely. Nah, for sure, bro. So nah, man, just kind of fast forwarding. Like you just gave me like a little tidbit of like when you were 8 years old, but I mean like fast forward to like decades later. Bro, so 2016, man. You dropped your debut album, man, and I mean, funny enough, it was like a little bit before your birthday, right?
Yeah,
like on your birthday. Yeah, on your birthday, bro. Yeah, bro, which is crazy. But like, I was just like super curious. That's like what life was looking like for you, like prior to you deciding one, and it's kind of kind of really a question, like attack it how like you want to attack it, but one, like first of all, deciding to start music, like at what point was that for you, and then two, just kind of like what the mentality was going into your debut album, since like kind of what went into that, in the process of making that.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell the story in a minute, so bear with me.
No, bro, please, man. No, absolutely, bro. Take your time, man.
But yeah, kind of to pick up where we left off before. You know what I mean? Like, I went to Kappa for high school.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Facts. Okay.
And when I was in middle school, like I said, my I had a like poetry class, and my poetry teacher told my mom like, hey, he's like really good. Like you should see about getting him into Kappa, right? To just like continue to grow and build upon his like writing skills.
So pause right there, bro. Yeah. How do you get into Kappa? Like, is it just all like reference based, or like do you have to like write something, or do you just apply, or like?
Yes, you have to audition.
Oh, right? Okay,
so auditions, or at least that's how it used to be. I assume it's still the same way, but you had to audition to get in. And I remember they would like have like, I think you did have to have a referral at first or something like that, but then they had auditions and they have people come through, and there's so many different types of art at Kappa, like
right?
Dance,
right?
Visual arts. But I remember for writing, we had to write like different prompts they would give us or what have you.
Damn.
We were all in the room together, and I guess based on those prompts, what I mean, they would decide like who got in or not.
Interesting. That sounds like a nightmare for me. Yeah, no.
And
shout out to that, bro. Like, bro, prompts and not. I mean, because it's a different guys like creatively writing, but bro, like, I don't know, man. Like those writing prompts in school, bro, I used to fucking like just like those like English class prompts, you know what I mean? Just like the ones that like weren't based on creativity, like you couldn't, the structured prompts, like like shit had to be in there. I'm just like, fuck this. So I mean, like, was it kind of structured? Like, was just like purely they just gave you some shit to write about and pretty much just free balls?
A little more creative. Like, okay. I think we had to read something and they kind of like pick it apart. So it was kind of like an English class vibe.
Copy. Okay.
At least up to that point, English was always my strong suit. And
right.
Put two and two together, that would be something that I would pursue later in life.
Type shit. No, of course not. Right, yeah.
Yeah, but I always had those skills. You always had that skill set.
That skill set, yeah, for sure. So like, you're in Kappa, and just kind of doing your thing, and then whatever.
And then from there, my freshman year at Kappa, there was an incident that happened with a student by the name of Jordan Miles. He was a senior at the time.
Okay.
And he was a victim of police brutality. He was like just walking in Homewood, I think like from his grandmother's house or something. And he was just, brutally beaten by 3 police officers. It was a big deal, just like in the city and just, throughout the school and everything.
Like obviously like the police brutality is the shocking part about that, unfortunately.
Right.
I mean, but like what was like he was really just walking from
what I understand.
And niggas just pulled up on him, started beating his ass. Like,
basically, I mean, like, from what I remember, and this was, some time ago at this point, but, he was walking home from, like, his grandmother's house in Homewood, I believe, and, he had his hood up, and, like, he had, like, a pop bottle, like Mountain Dew or something in his pocket, and then they thought it was a gun, and they were asking to, like, search him and everything, and, like, it just kind of went left from there, unfortunately.
yeah, that's crazy.
A story that we hear all too
Sure,
right.
Right.
That was, like, my first time really, like, experiencing that.
Yeah.
What I mean? Yeah, and I don't want to say experience it, but being so close to
it. No, absolutely. And, like, no. And it's like, not to say, like, obviously the other incidents didn't affect you, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just generally. But, like you said, man, something that close to home, it just, it's different when it's like, like, damn, like, nigga was going to school with us. Like, that could have been, I mean, that could have been anybody. So, all right, I feel that. Okay.
So, from that, there was an organization at CMU called the Arts Greenhouse.
Okay.
So it was like a hip-hop program for teenagers. They would have, like, hip-hop, like, classes and workshops on the weekends. And I was already trying to get into that program because I heard about it through the library. But they had actually reached out to the writing department at Kappa.
Okay.
And said, like, hey, like, we know this incident happened with a student at Kappa. Like, would anyone in the writing department be interested in doing, like, rap songs, poetry, spoken word, or whatever, like, just talking about this incident, but police brutality in general, right?
Okay.
And I was like, sure, right? Because I was already starting to get into music, you know what I mean? Like, just a little more naturally. Like, I was trying to get my poetry to sound a little bit more like rap songs.
Right.
So it was kind of a perfect timing thing, like, unfortunate circumstances.
Bro, and like, I want to pick your brain on that, because, like, hearing that is like, nigga, they hit you up to be like, hey, who wants to speak about this?
Who wants to speak about it?
Yeah, like, I'm like, that's like, how, like, long after, like, that happened, did they reach out about
probably like, it was probably like a few months. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right. My focus. It sounded like niggas were like, they heard the story and was like, yo, we got this Art Greenhouse joint. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, trying to, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I will say, I think, the organization Arts Greenhouse as a whole was very
of course,
much,
and, like, I'm not to disparage, obviously, like, art, not at all. Yeah.
But, like, it's definitely their whole point was trying to, do, like, allow, like, students to be able to use hip hop to, like,
as an outlet. Yeah. No, for sure. No, absolutely.
Stuff like that. So it was a perfect tie-in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Good opportunity for you, like,
opportunity for me. I was maybe like 14 at the time.
Okay, damn, that's crazy. 14, 15,
still a freshman.
Yeah.
And that was my first time I was able to get into a recording studio. Like, my first time I went to a recording studio was just like, world-renowned Grammy, you know what I mean, whatever recording studio. It's just crazy.
Yeah, bro.
And yeah, I was struggling a little bit, just trying to, like, take my, like, the stuff that I would write, just kind of almost like spoken word in poetry, to translate it to, like, hip hop, because it has to be like a certain, to translate to, like, bars, right? Because there's to be like a certain beat and, like,
right.
So it took a minute, but, like, that was like the first thing I ever was, like, super passionate about.
You think it was like the fact that, like, there was a beat to it that, like, kind of threw you off?
Yeah, and it was just like I didn't have beats to write to before. You know what I'm saying? So I would just write, and I thought being lyrical meant just, like, putting as many rhyming words together as possible.
Yeah,
but, there's still, like, a particular, like, pattern you have to follow.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's a pattern, but at the same time, it's also your pattern too, because like you're trying to find your own voice through that, and it's like, even like, I don't know, like, some cadences are just like aren't obviously normal, or like two artists, or, like, two different artists, wouldn't attack a beat the same way. I mean, like, we see that all the time with, like, features. It's like, the primary artist, like, rise the beat, one way, and then like the feature may find like a completely, like, different pocket. But like you said, like, you're 14, it's your fucking first time in the fucking booth, you know what I mean? Like, ever.
I think I was trying to, instead of start with the basics, I was trying to, like, be super complex first, but I had to kind of, like,
you went with the whole lyrical miracle vibe. Lyrical Hennessy enemy.
Because, like, my, the stuff I was, like, listening to try to, like, get my skills up was like, everything that was, considered like a classic, right? Your Illmatics, your Ready to Dies, your Down, stuff like that. So, like, it's like super high level rapping I was trying to attempt very early on.
Sure, right, yeah. So how did the joint for the art greenhouse go? Like, how that end up going?
Yeah, I mean, it went well. So, we ended up, I think we ended up putting out the song or something, or getting like CDs pressed or whatever. And it was a really dope, opportunity, right? Just for me, first time ever being in like a studio or anything like that. But I think this is kind of where the story starts, and then what kind of goes from there is pretty interesting because, I would go to the arts greenhouse like every weekend from there, right? Like I was like, I really like this program, I want to continue to go, and
this is while you were still at Kappa, correct?
Yeah, this is so this was all through high school. You know what I mean? Like I made a lot of friends there as well. I don't know if you might have interviewed like Linwood, or I don't know if you're familiar with Linwood. He's a local artist as well.
I'm not familiar.
He lives out in LA now. But there's a lot of like people I kind of met through that program. That's and like dope. Just being in high school and stuff like that. Who I still consider like friends and homies to this day.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, and then through Arts Greenhouse, we would do like shows, like we performed like, with CMU would have like any hip hop showcases or any like Martin Luther King Day things or like, things where they just want hip hop involved, like we would be there. So it exposed me to performing pretty early.
Yeah. Okay. Well. How old were you when you first performed? 14.
Yeah, I was probably like
14. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so like that's when you started.
Up to that point, like I always did like public speaking, like even like middle school.
Okay.
Like,
got you. Okay. So like and like that even kind of because like so. I mean, 14 still pretty early, but like you have those tools under your belt. How are you feeling getting up on stage for the first time, like in the music capacity? Because like public speaking is like definitely one thing. Yeah. I think a layer to public speaking is just like if you're talking about something that you're knowledgeable about, or like there's just like like you're confident in. There's not really like there's an entertaining way to public speak for sure, absolutely. And, like there's levels to everything. You know what I mean? I think in that arena, it's more just like. If I'm just comfortable in like what I'm saying, I can reiterate to the audience. It's cool. Right. Getting up on there in entertainment, I gotta make sure y'all are engaged in me constantly. Capacity is different. You know what I mean? So like, did you necessarily feel that like initially, like prior to again? I know you're mad young, so like, I'm not expecting you to fucking.
No, I mean,
do you know Chris Brown shit? I mean, 14, but like.
Yeah. I would always say that I feel like I've always been more comfortable, you know what I mean, when it comes to like share my creative works at like a larger space, in front of a larger crowd.
That's dope.
Honestly, doing it like just like if it was just me and you or just
right,
in this room or whatever, I honestly feel even to this day a little more like nervous about it. But
that's a bit more intimate, and like I can understand because it's so much more intimate. It's just like. You can just kind of feel the reactions, feel the energy in the room. It's like a bit more, right? Yeah.
Right. Usually with a bigger crowd, at least there's more energy I can feed off and kind of like use it to my advantage.
Sure.
It's like in a more intimate space, and people might be locked in. And
yeah, right.
Time, but I'm still like, what are they thinking?
Right. I know.
Do I have something on my shirt?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So the bigger crowds usually aren't too much of an issue. Like even way back when it was my preferred platform.
Okay. So like you were even through that. So I mean, yeah, man. Just like during your time through Kappa, like when did you decide to really take this music thing seriously, and then how did that lead into Driving While Black?
Yeah, well, I'll continue with the Arts Greenhouse thing for a minute because through there I actually met just Siri X and Paradise Gray of One Hood.
Shout out to Paradise, word.
So I actually met them because they were doing a lot of like guests, like speaking and lectures with Arts Greenhouse, and around the time I was like. I would say like finishing with Arts Greenhouse because I was like maybe like junior year, senior year.
Okay.
They were starting One Hood like from the jump, like starting it as like a media academy. Kind of know what it is today, where they have like a bunch of artists and everything come through to perform, but also talk about issues and things like that. So it was like me and a few others were like the first class of people, first class of students within One Hood's media academy. So that was just a connection I had made because I was in the Arts Greenhouse, right? Okay. So from there, it was like, I had continued to be involved in One Hood from like late high school up into like, well through like college.
And shout out to One Hood, man. We had the good brother Trouble up here, man, the other day, man. Like, I was about to say, man, he was breaking down One Hood and like what they're about. So that's fire.
Yeah. So you check out that episode if y'all want.
bro. The Pittsburgh lore is crazy, son. No, as well. I'm dog, and like, bro, I like not to cut you off at all. Like, we're going on a tangent, but like, just even in the research, bro, I'm just like, yo, this city is crazy. Like, it's just so intertwined. Like, people just past and like may not have known that like man, that shit is wild. But not my fault, man. Not to cut you off.
That's really how small, you know what I mean, the world is.
Right.
So yeah, just being involved with One Hood and everything. You know, I was like teaching artists and I was like performing and things like that. So that definitely helped me get my skills up even more on a more elevated level.
Of course.
And while I was still with One Hood, is when I got the idea of Driving While Black, because, you know, I had even going back to my first instance of being in the studio talking about, you know, police brutality, right? You know, that's always been something that's been a part of, you know what I mean, my artistry, just like talking about things going on.
Sure. I mean, like, that's hip hop. Yeah. That's hip hop, man. That's the DNA hip hop.
Yeah, and you know, unfortunately, there was just so much going on around that time. I mean, like, we were only a few years removed from like Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown and all these different things. So, you know, I just felt like I had something to speak on. You know what I mean? Not even just solely talking about that piece of it, but just the Black experience as a whole.
Yeah, right.
Like, period. You know what I mean? So that's how the album came about, Driving While Black. You know what I mean? Like, I, you know, put it out on SoundCloud. SoundCloud was still heavy and popping, you know, releases and everything.
Yeah, I mean, 2016, that was like SoundCloud peak. Yeah. That was the peak. Yeah, facts.
SoundCloud era. And yeah, man, I mean, it got a lot of buzz in the city, you know what I mean? That was my first time being mentioned in, like, the city paper and Post-Gazette.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I was still doing a lot of shows independently, but also with One Hood and everything. But what inspired me to grow it, you know, beyond just that album to, like, a label, right, was when I was doing merchandise for the album. I had like T-shirts and hats and stuff, and it just said like Driving While Black on it, and people were like, yo, that is dope. Like, you know, people were buying the hats and the merchandise aside from even listening to the music.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, facts.
So it was like, oh, okay, there might be something here, right? I'm not going to keep making Driving While Black 2, Driving While Black 3 or whatever. But how can I like continue to create music, continue to move forward as an artist, but still having that as my anchor?
I wanted to kind of pick your brain about that too, just because like just from like an artist level and like again completely ego based. This is nothing. Let's just indulge in our human emotions just for a second. I mean, like when you saw that, people were just connecting with the merch outside of music. Was there like at least a millisecond where you're just like, man, what the fuck, y'all like? Y'all listen to this shit, y'all copy this shit. Was there like even if you can accept it eventually, like even if it was like a 0.2 second, like, all right, whatever, you know what I mean? Take the hat. That's 20. Like,
I think the compensation definitely wiped any tears.
Right. You could dry it with the compensation, right? That's funny.
I mean, maybe, but I didn't have to think about that. I think for the most part, I was happy people were.
Nothing enough to be like, like.
I think happy people were just, buying into it.
Yeah, okay. No. Fast. And like, again, not to super, but like,
that's
I was just.
Question,
I was curious, because like, bro, as an artist, I know like a part. It's just like, it could be like, I mean, just the party was just like, y'all are wilder for copying the merch and not listening to y'all, I mean, nigga shit, you know what I mean? But that's crazy. Okay, word. So like, that's how you got the idea for the album. But like, because let's even like, kind of keep that there. Sticking like, with the album, like what, because how old were you at this point when you decided to make the album?
I think I had turned 21, so it was my
21. Okay. So like, so this is like, some years after, again, since that Green Tree thing, like you said, like you were performing with One Hood, kind of getting those performances under your belt. So like, this is like, so like at this point, man, like just what was the mentality with the album? Like, cause like, aside from just like the social commentary of it, like what was like the goal, like, for the album, if anything, like if there was a goal initially, like.
Yeah, I mean, well, first goal was getting it out, right? So
fair play.
Very happy that happened, right? But yeah, I don't know if I had like a really like defined goal. I think it was just
fair play, yeah.
So getting it out, and then hopefully enough people liked it to where I can like continue to move up, on the ladder of success or fame or whatever you want to call it, right? So that, I think that was really it. I think it was just a launching pad for me to figure out like, okay, how do I want to maneuver? What have I learned from that album that I want to carry over to the next release or what have you? So yeah, I just think it was a starting point for me.
How much of the album did you have like either written down, or like, I don't know, like maybe like beats picked out like prior to like, making it? Like, did you have like maybe like a song or two that like you're like, yo, this is going on the album? Or was it all just from the moment you decided you were making an album, that's when you started creating for the album?
I think what typically happens for me, even to this day, right, is where like I'll have an idea that pops up first of like what I want this album to be, right?
Fair,
And then from there, everything kind of just falls in place, right? Like, different beats I come across, like I start to look for a particular sound that I feel like matches the vibe.
Sure.
I mean, and the theme of the project. And then once I'm kind of in that zone, it all just kind of falls into place. Like I get kind of in like a writing, you know what I mean? I get like in a writing zone where I'm just like knocking out, verses and things like that. And then, I just usually, especially now to this point, like I'll usually have just about everything written. And then I go to the studio and just knock it all out.
Okay.
It only takes maybe like 1 or 2 sessions to really get it done.
Yeah. I was about to say like, so like you write first and then pick the beats.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, typically.
Yeah. And sometimes, I'll have certain ideas that pop in my head and I'll just like save them in my notes app or whatever.
Yeah.
But, a lot of times I'll hear a beat and then I'll be like, oh, shoot, I might have something to at least start this off.
Fair play, yeah.
And then I could build upon it because I kind of have more of that canvas to paint with.
Hell yeah, bro. How long did it take you to make?
Driving While Black probably took maybe about 2 years or so.
Wow.
Yeah, because there was a lot of like early ideas that I had that just didn't fully come into fruition, but a lot of it was just finding the time and even the resources, right, to make it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I have a lot of great people I work with, but obviously you want to make sure they're compensated properly and things like that.
Right.
So, I think just like any artist, the creative side is super easy, but it's the logistics of, trying to get everything situated, post-production and getting beats and things like that could take a little while.
Nah, for sure. When did you see just like the album like start to make an impact? Just like outside of like maybe just in like your immediate circle.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I was, I'm still very hands-on with a lot of things in my career. Like I remember it was picking up some stream just kind of organically with my family and stuff. But, I actually sent out a press release to like local media. So like when I said about the city paper, Post-Gazette and stuff like that, I feel like that's when it really started to pick up because, there was these local outlets talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And then the local outlets are talking about it. Then, friends and family are sharing it too.
Yeah, right.
So
Facts,
like
right.
It was just like a really
bled into each other.
You know what I mean?
Did you put any money behind that, or like was that all just like off the string?
Like just organic, word of mouth. You know what I mean? Like, which is really cool. First starting out.
Super
especially.
dope. Yeah.
I mean, I will say probably now things are a little different in terms of like trying to get music out there and try to reach people and things like that. But I was very lucky, at least for my first few releases. At least I've been able to kind of just ride off of like momentum and good, and good words. You know what I'm saying?
Man, no, that's super dope. Dog, I don't know if it's just me being an ass researcher or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't find that shit on any DSPs, gang. Like,
you're right.
What's up? Like, what's up?
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's still on SoundCloud, I believe.
I couldn't even find a sound. Like I couldn't even find your profile.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think I might have just. I'm in the process of trying.
This
to,
nigga scrubbed it. This nigga on the run.
To get some stuff in order. We've had a few changes with distributors.
No, of course,
so
right. Everything transferred. And all
I might at least. I'm trying to think if it's on my Bandcamp or not. I can't even think. I might at least try to put it up there for the A1 day one.
Yeah, because I was like, damn, I can't even find this shit, bro. I mean, but nah, man,
you had to be there. I
guess. Yeah, man. Like you just had to. It was, bro. Like, yeah, man. Maybe it's like it's a project. Maybe kind of like a big picture thing where you're gonna like kind of set some time aside and maybe like get that situated, bro. But just even amongst some of your other projects, man. It seems that like even for like your next release, it was a little bit later, like 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
2019. Yeah. No, bro. Of course, man. Gotta know who we talking to, bro. But aside from that, bro, like second project, it seemed like you were super just open to collaboration because like again, like I couldn't see who was featured or like not featured on DWB.
Right.
But like that second follow-up joint, you had a lot of like Pittsburgh local artists, super dope, bro. Like I want to commend you for that, bro. Because like not to say that, like no one does it, but like you're on like the short people or like on like the short list of people where, like I've seen it's just like, yeah, bro. Like you're grabbing people in the scene, bro, to make some shit. You're like, yo, like I know you're doing your thing. Boom, you got, I mean, so like super dope. What made you so open to like was that always just how you rocked creatively? Like you're just open to collaboration? Because like I know I'm gonna speak on hip hop at least, you know what I mean? Like I know artists across the board are kind of like, they're their own thing.
Yeah.
But like in the hip hop space, collaboration is few and far between unless like there's a rapport or like something whatever.
Yeah.
And again, this is for artists generally.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, bro, it was just so dope to see like you had a bunch of local talent on on your product. So like just what made you open to collaboration?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's partially how I came up, right?
Fair play,
like those like groups and collectives, Arts Greenhouse and One Hood and stuff. Like, I always look forward to like the posse records we would do together, and people like having verses and like hopping on different tracks or what have you. So I've always been open to collaboration. Even to this day, I try to collaborate with as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And I feel like more of it's needed. You know what I mean?
100%, bro. Yeah.
To make a really good record, like I think you need a lot of people involved to really just like kind of bring those energies together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, my favorite moments still are when, we as Driving While Black are like, all together, whether it be on the same track, whether we're sharing the stage. I just feel like, there's power in numbers. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Yeah. How do you kind of, and this is just like, because the hard truth is like, you obviously can't let everyone in, you know what I mean? So gotta have a vetting process. What is your vetting process? I mean, a lot of it, again, this is a creative space. You're going off energy. You're going off vibes. You're going off like, what you think can gel with what you got. You know what I mean? So just even in like the people that like, you reached out to, man, Sierra Sellers, like, being one of them, like, was there a rapport there before? Did you just kind of peep Sierra and go like, yo, like she's doing her thing in the R&B space. I'm trying to make something, you know what I mean? Let me just take a chance, reach out to her. I don't know how it's going to go, but I need someone in the R&B space, and here's someone from Pittsburgh doing her thing. Let me reach out. Like, how did that go? And there's like, even apart from her, just like what was the process like? Right.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, there's at least like some familiarity beforehand, right?
Fair, not fair play, right?
To kind of build upon, whatever relationship I have with someone. So it's like, even if we're like actual friends or we're just, mutual, have a mutual connection,
common friend, something,
share the stage together or whatever, like. I like that to be like the basis first, and then from there it's like, oh, we should do something together.
Right. Facts.
Yeah. So
that's yeah.
That's my process. It's like, if I like what you do,
hey,
like
if you fuck with you, fuck with you.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And like, how was it? Just because again, forgive me. Like the name of the second album has escaped me right now.
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse. Thank you very much. Yeah. Like as far as that, went, for collaboration. Like, what about like, releasing that made you want to collaborate with other people? Like,
I mean, I just feel like I was discovering more and more people that were just doing dope stuff in the city, and I think especially at that time there was just it was just full of just so many talented people, and I just wanted to make records with them.
No,
I mean, a lot of the collaborations I had done up to that point, like on Driving While Black.
I was about to say, like, was there any collabs on DWB?
There was, and it was mainly just people that were involved with One Hood.
Okay, fair play, right.
Trust me, was some of the dopest people in the city.
Of course,
of course, but it was nice to be able to kind of expand upon that.
Yeah.
And also just play around with different like sounds and go into different like worlds like sonically, because Driving While Black was so like focused on talking about issues where I feel like people were kind of pigeonholing me as like a conscious rapper, which there's an element of that.
Right.
I just like to make music
of course
relates to how I'm feeling. You know what I mean?
Fair
that
play.
I like to listen to. So.
Dog, and
Dark Horse was like expanding upon that.
Fair play, bro. And I just even because that's an interesting point that you bring up.
Yeah.
What, like, did you kind of realize that maybe after you dropped Driving While Black that like, not that people were pigeonholing you, but that people may think like even if reaching out to you on like a collab shirt or just like just like on like an artist tip, like this is the conscious rapper.
Right.
Like
that's how I felt. Yeah.
Okay, word, all right.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think there's anything like wrong with that. But,
no, not at all. Right.
I think my skill set is just so vast that I feel like personally I could do just about anything, right? In terms of at least musically or with my artistry. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to kind of prove people wrong.
And
that's where the title came from.
Dark Horse, right?
The Dark
I'll sleep on me. Right.
But they ended up, winning the race anyway.
Yeah, fair,
so I just always just try to stay in my own lane and just run that race.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
And then just even speaking of Dark Horse, man, while we're on, like, forgive me for jumping around, but like, I just kind of want people to get, the full scope before we, we move on to your career as a, as your CEO of your label.
Yeah.
But with Dark Horse, one of the few joints on there that has, visuals to it, R&B.
Yeah.
With
So that was actually Thank You for Your Purchase. So that was the album after that.
After, my fault, forget, I misspoke.
We got a lot of,
and like, bro, again, it speaks to your discography, bro. Again, you've been at this for
a minute.
Again, near, like, this is like a near decade-long career, bro. So now, yes, but forgive me. Thank You for Your Purchase, right?
Yeah.
Which with Sierra was on there, with the R&B single, and man, I'm blanking on the other feature on that, man.
Yeah, well, we actually have a few. Well, with R&B specifically, there was Sierra Sellers, and then Live from the City.
Live from the City, man. Thank you, bro. I was, dog, because like I was like, yo, what is bro's name, man?
I know. Like I said, there's a decent amount of features on that particular album as well. So
no, absolutely, man. So just if you want to speak on, because like I think that song is dope. You know what I mean? Like I think y'all did, everyone on that song did their fucking thing on that, man. Shout out to Sierra, shout out to Live from the City. Just kind of like what went into making the song, and then as far as like the visuals, when did you? Because like are visuals something that are just in your brain, for like the longest time? Let's say like you drop the album and you're like, I always want to make a video to her and be like, let's just do it. Or I don't know, like, do you just kind of drop the project first, see what you fucking with, see what vibe you fucking, be like, yo, this could use a video, like let's fuck with that.
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think if it's a song that I like really believe in,
right,
and people are like gravitating toward it, I'm like, okay, that might be an opportunity to like shoot a video for it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for R&B in particular, like how that even came together, the song and the video. The song, I want to say I wrote that first verse back when like I was about to put out Driving While Black. You know what I mean?
Okay, wow, okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, the beat that I wrote it to initially, like, I don't know if the producer no longer had it or whatever the case was. It was something like that, but I just had that first verse already locked and loaded. And I just
damn. So you were sitting on that shit for like years. Damn. Yeah. All right. Word. All right. Yeah. No.
Obviously, I'm married now, but I've been in a very, long relationship with my wife since we met in high school. You know what I mean? So she went to Kappa as well, and so I just always had that inspiration. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just had the verse, and I just never found the right, place for it.
That's crazy. That's all beat on. Yeah. Flex. Right.
And then speaking of Trouble, who you had,
facts.
On One Hood before, he produced that beat for R&B.
Shit.
He produced the beat for R&B. He just sent me like a beat pack. I was just looking for
shout out to Trouble. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Yeah.
So he produced the beat, and it just spoke to me. You know what I mean? I had the first verse already, and then I had the I wrote the second verse. It just came super natural at that point, and then I reached out to Sierra. Probably like I think after I recorded it. I think live. He was in the studio with me, and he was like, it'd be dope to have someone like Sierra on it. And I reached out, and she, did her thing on it. You know what I'm saying? So that was, that was an amazing. And then he added his little piece on to it as well. And then for the video, we actually shot it. There was this place on the south side that I don't think it's there anymore, but like they had like different props and everything, like different rooms where you can go and take like selfies and do photo shoots or whatever. So we shot all that in that place because they had so many different rooms.
And it's not up anymore. Like,
I don't think it's there.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't think it's there anymore.
That sounds like a vibe, though. That sounds crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't think they did a music video in there before, so they were, like, really excited to have it.
That's crazy, yeah.
I think people just go in, they pay a couple $, and they would just get their selfie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and peace out. Right, yeah, facts.
But, yeah, so it was really cool to be able to do that all in one spot and to be able to, like, seemingly, like, have so many different locations, but it was all in one building. But I wanted to, have Treble in the video because, it was a cool tie-in because he shot the video. He produced the track.
Yeah,
so
right.
Like a cool, like, full circle moment.
You and Treble ever hop on a track together?
We did. So actually on Dark Horse, I collaborated with him on a song called Bad Habits. He did exactly what I wanted him to do.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. So, hopefully we get some more stuff in too. I just love collaborating with people. He's just, as you know, is an amazing artist.
Yeah.
We're just lucky to have so many amazing like artists and talent here in Pittsburgh. So why not, showcase it?
Yeah. Nah, bro, that's so dope. And like I'm just, I'm glad I got to pick your brain about that stuff, man.
I'm glad
like,
you asked that.
No, bro. It's bro. Again, man. It's just like, and I'm not saying, every Pittsburgh artist is adverse to collaboration. Please don't get that idea. But I'm just, again, I have a very small scope. I'm not even originally from the city.
Gotcha,
You know what I mean?
gotcha.
So like I'm just, just getting familiar with like some
Right.
people. You know what I mean? But again, man, like you were just like it just stood out to me because like I'm seeing all these sentences like, damn, okay, yeah, like I know he doing this. I was like, damn. I'm like,
that person.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, that's super dope. But just fast forwarding right to you becoming a CEO of your own label. You started your own label, man. And because again, like we're hopping around. So you got the idea because people were fucking with the merch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Over not over it, but like they were just fucking with the merch.
Sure,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And like you're just like, yo, like I think I got something here. Was it always a goal to even have your own label, or was that just kind of like something like, again, like you just saw that opportunity arise from the merch joint and you're just like, and then you just kind of took it from there, like you just kind of got that hunch and just took it from there, like.
Yeah, I guess it kind of was always my goal, and I always kind of forget about this aspect of it. But and sorry, we're jumping around.
You're
a bit,
good, man.
but,
You're good.
When I graduated from Kappa, I knew at this point it was like I want to be in the music business to some capacity, right?
Okay.
If I can't make it myself as an artist, I still want to be involved and around creative people,
Right.
and helping people out.
Yeah, right.
Having a job doing so.
Yeah, right.
So from Kappa, I went to Columbia College, which is an arts college in Chicago. Actually.
Wow. Okay.
So I went out there for a semester. Didn't really have my financials figured out yet. So
Yeah.
I had to drop out.
You know how
but
niggas. Yeah. You
it
know how it
was-
would go. Like
yeah.
yeah.
But it was always my goal to be involved in the music industry, right, to some capacity, and being able to do it in Pittsburgh has always been my passion too.
Right.
So yeah, but in the back of my head, it's like I always wanted to have my own label, right? Because a lot of artists I knew, that I look it up to, had theirs. You have someone like Jay-Z with like Rockefeller and Master P with No Limit and stuff like that. So that was like people I kind of looked up to and thought like I would like to have that. And I think once the Driving While Black moment happened with the merch and everything, it just it just clicked. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like something I was working towards academically and professionally kind of just happened organically.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I mean, being faced with that moment, bro. I mean, like, how did you, like, what is the dichotomy, I guess, for lack of a better word, like, because I mean, if you look at hip hop, bro, it kind of goes hand in hand as far as like, the poppin' artists, get everyone to sign under them, you know what I mean, and for the most part, and then that's like a whole label situation, you know what I mean, but you came in as an artist, so balancing that other half, that because it's a very professional, not saying that artists can't be professional, but like it's a very professional world.
It is. Yeah.
In contrast with the world of an artist, which is the the complete opposite. You know what I mean? So it's like, even like, within yourself, to like even have it within yourself to be an artist and, a CEO. Like the only example I personally have is Mike. Yeah. He's an artist, like, runs this whole fucking platform. You know what I mean? But I know it's not because he's true like an artist. So it's just like, I know that's not a natural state that artists be in, you know what I mean? So it's like, and for someone who just dropped their debut album, bro, like you're still figuring out your career. Like, how did you even go about building that up? Like,
yeah. I mean, I think as an entrepreneur, period, you have to wear so many different hats.
Facts, like, right?
You could be, you can have your own bake shop. You could be baking cookies and all this stuff, but then like, the roof can cave in, and then you got to be up there fixing the roof.
Facts, right?
But I think I have always thrived in the space of like creativity and like professionalism, like that, like that
same. My fellows the same.
Where I feel like there's a lot of people that are like, especially in this business, people that are super creative. And don't wanna deal with the business
absolutely, right.
Like, so business, they can't really.
If you give them a crown and paper, they would eat the crown or some shit. Like,
Right. So it's like, I think I've always thrived, and there's definitely times where it could be a struggle because, like,
of course,
it's kind of that yin and the yang. So you're trying to
right brain versus left brain.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, but I think for the most part, I've thrived, or at least maintained pretty well in that gray area.
What was like kind of like the biggest hurdle, like you were just kind of maybe thought that you would face or did face when you just started out, like being like, all right, like I'm about to, make my own label, like.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is just like, there's not really a ton of guidance on it. I mean, there's books
That's
and
what
stuff.
I was about to say, bro.
Yeah.
Like, because who do you even go to
Right.
to like?
Yeah.
You're about to just take on this whole, bro. And it's on your back. It's on your It's based off your idea. You feel me? Like, no one can really tell you how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's and there's books and stuff like on the music industry and how to start your label and stuff like that, which I've read some of those. But I mean, like in the day-to-day practice, a lot of it is just like purely your own just motivation. You're making it happen. And it can be tough because I've been lucky to get support, for like grants and things like happening in Pittsburgh.
Which grants?
Like, like Advancing Black Arts through like the Pittsburgh Foundation.
Nice.
Like, there was a lot of small business grants I had as well, just kind of through the pandemic.
There are grants, man. That nigga Grant.
Yeah. I mean, working with programs like Ascender, they had like a, program for businesses looking to make their like next leap and things like that.
Sure.
So I definitely did my research on the business end for sure.
I was even gonna say like you're not the first person to mention grants, like helping them out. Or it's like, bro.
It could be hard, when like you got to fill out these applications because as many, I've gotten a few grants, but there's a ton I haven't got. Right.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of workshops and opportunities I've applied for, trying to be a part of that I have gotten and haven't gotten. Right?
Sure.
So, it can be a challenge because, for the most part, especially now, like, and even just for starting, completely self-funded and, self just like motivated too. You know what I mean? So like I have to put the battery in my own back to like make this thing go.
Yeah, facts.
So that in itself could be a challenge.
Of course.
It could be hard enough just to get out of bed.
Come on, man. Yeah.
So like to be able to, kind of go through life, but then also have this creative element and then also have like not only just me, but a whole business and entity I'm trying to like push as well. Could be a challenge, but there's some days that's hard and most other days I love it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like what was it like transitioning from artist to see? So like when you like to start, when you decided to start, your own label, like, did music take an immediate back burner where you still kind of like, I can still fuck around, like, make, just kind of keep music right here while I'm taking on like this new project? Or did you just say, all right, this is gonna side that? And
it's still, it was all hand in hand, really. I mean, because I think my music, helped like propel, and like push the business.
Fair play. Yeah, right. Yeah, facts.
Forward.
Facts. Yeah, right.
So like, it's everything I did for myself, Jordan Montgomery, the artist, was also like Driving While Black too. So it was just always hand in hand. You know what I mean? So like, it's just think if anything, it just allowed me to like turn on the gears more in the music space. You know what I mean?
Facts. No, definitely. How did you like as far as like just pretty much, deciding who was about to be on the label? Yeah. Like, how did like what were you looking for like when you were like this is maybe not because like I mean like can you even go into it looking as like this is the type of artist I want? Like there's so many, like if you're dealing with artists it could be, but if you see the talent you're just like come fuck with I mean so it's like what was that mentality like when looking for talent?
Yeah, I mean I wasn't really looking for talent. That's the thing. I mean it was very much just the record label was like, okay, I'm gonna take it as an opportunity to take myself more serious as an artist, right? Kind of get that all figured out. And it's so funny. A lot of people have asked me to be like, can I be on the label? Can I be a board Driving While Black? And I was just kind of like, nah, because I don't want to, write checks that I can't cash. Right?
Fair play.
I don't want you to like feel like your career's in my hand, but I'm still trying to figure it out for myself.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm trying to figure it out for the both of us.
Right. Which I mean, like you're better than most niggas because most niggas like, come on in, hey. We'll take care of you.
Right. But I never wanted to be like that.
Yeah, right.
So the roster that we put together now, truthfully, is like just very organic. I mean, like, Live, for example, basically all these people are my friends, right?
No, right, yeah, facts.
Live, we've known each other, since high school. I mean, JM, I've known him for several years now. Yeah. Sonny Mac, I mean, I've known him high school as well, even longer before.
Yeah, right.
So, like, it's crazy that it just all kind of naturally came together. Just people I've already been like people who already been in my life for so long.
Yeah, right.
We're already doing music, already collaborating together, already performing together. It's like, why not like come together? You know,
Yeah, right.
And kind of, be like Voltron. You know what I mean? We got
No,
all these,
yeah,
separate
absolutely,
pieces, why not
right.
just pull it all together.
Absolutely.
And, be
Make some
strong
shit.
together.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
facts.
Yeah.
I like in what capacity do you operate within their careers? Like, I mean, like obviously, like you own the label, obviously.
Yeah,
I mean, but like, I mean, are you helping them make albums? Are you helping them be like, are you in their studio sessions? Are you like, kind of like funding some of their performance opportunities? Like, and just like what role do you play as the owner of the label?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty flexible for the most part. I never wanted to be so like, like they were, it's like they were so tethered to like me.
What you're doing, yeah, facts.
Idea. It was more so like, hey, like, when we're doing Drive a While Black stuff, whether that be like group projects or songs we're on together or whatever, then like that's something where, I'll, fund or try to get those opportunities and stuff for us. But in terms of their own individual artist careers, if they want to just kind of do stuff on their own, then they have the ability to do so. Yeah, I mean, it's just like when we do Drive a While Black, that's like, okay, that's a team effort. That's us. We're all kind of helping. But if you want to go off and do your own thing on this one particular JM project or this, Sony Mag JB, live project, then, go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? I'm never going to try to be in anyone's way because I want people to kind of like spread their wings and do their own thing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
How did you and just to kind of wrap it on the album here, not the album, the label here, how much? Because again, man, we talked about you can't let everyone in. Like you think because at this point, like you were naming some of your label mates, like people that are on the label. At the time of my research, it was 4 others besides you. Yeah, 4 others on the label. Like, is that still the current state?
There's 3 others.
Okay. 3 others. Okay.
We, one thing about us is like I feel like there's so many people, like friends and collaborators and people that I feel like are like almost kind of Drive a While Black affiliates. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure, right.
They've been just so involved and around as well. So I feel like while we have our roster of like 4 total now, it's
right.
I feel like the connections are just still out there with just so many other people. Which is really dope,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You think it's at a good number right now? You're looking for possibly more artists, or like are you always looking like what's the situation?
I think we're at a good number right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I still like to keep it small. My goal, like, well before we do any like type of expansion, unless there's just someone who I feel like really fits a missing piece that, we don't have right now. I feel like, right now I still want to continue to build and grow and make sure that everything we have is solid and running on all, cylinders before we bring someone else in.
Man. Nah, bro. And like, thank you for breaking all that down, bro. I think, people that may not, really be, too familiar with like, Drive a While Black and just like, the infrastructure of it all. Like, do y'all like have a brick and mortar that like you operate out of, or is it just like, like you kind of like floating around right now?
Yeah, just kind of, in our homes, and we meet up, whatever.
Okay.
Here and there, we've explored the option of doing like some brick and mortors.
Yeah, right.
That be, like an actual office or somewhere we can kind of do performances and stuff more often.
Right.
Have you? So that idea's played around. So it's never totally off the table.
Sure, right.
Makes sense.
But but for now, y'all are like, making this shit without the brick and mortar, man. And that's fucking dope. So, bro, you are not like just coming off of, but I mean, bro, you dropped an album earlier this year, bro.
Yeah. It was actually last year, so it's like an anniversary we did.
Okay. No, yeah. My fault. Yeah. No.
Well, so,
My fault. And no, you're completely right.
Recently, not that long ago, celebrate like the year anniversary
of that joint. No. Yeah, you're completely right. Yeah. No, yeah. I was definitely looking at the anniversary and dog. No, I was definitely looking at the anniversary and no, it dropped in 2023 and like it's just having its like you said its anniversary. And bro, I mean speaking of collabs, bro. Big Jerm, bro. Which if you don't know, man, that's just a pretty story that pretty legend, just a Pittsburgh legend, man. Work with everyone under the sun in this city, notably Mac Miller. You know what I mean? Like definitely work with Mac. But bro, just as far as Pittsburgh goes, man, like he's a legend, bro. So. First of all, congrats on dropping that album, last year. Congrats on the anniversary of that, bro. That's dope. How did that album idea first off come about, Prime Real Estate, and then just like what inspired that? Because I think that's a very apt name. Like as it pertains to Pittsburgh, as it pertains to just I don't know, just like the energy of just what's about to come. I feel like for the city.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no, for me, it was really just like kind of metaphorically, like kind of staking my claim, right? It
Yeah,
was
right.
like, I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm here with this, like, dope body of work, a body of work I feel like I was really proud of. It was very polished. It was very, I would say probably, some of my best work up to that point. And I just felt like I was really staking my claim kind of at the forefront of, you know what I mean? Just like the art scene here, based on all the work I had done, it's like I'm taking center stage.
Right, yeah, facts.
So that's kind of the mentality I had, and I felt like the music kind of spoke to, that mindset. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I just have like, because like we'll get to Big Jerm, but like that was, like 7 years after Driving While Black, right? 2023. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, bro. What was a notable difference, bro, from when you were 21 to 28, bro?
Yeah.
As far as the content you were talking about, your style, your approach of making music, bro, like, what is something that, like, you have just grown from, that, like, or, like, just even in making that album, that you know, like, noticeably, like, yo, like, I'm on some different shit with this when I was not before, like.
Yeah. That's a great question because, to be honest, I feel like sometimes I have a moment where I do the flip where it's like I look back on the older releases and I'm like, damn, there was actually something there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like,
facts.
I'm like impressed with like a lot of my older material because I think us as artists we always think like our next thing is our best thing.
Yeah, right, yeah, right.
Look back and it's like, oh shoot,
nah, that was fire. Yeah,
like,
facts.
Yeah, so like a lot of times, like I find myself reminiscing, but I think now I'm just a lot more. Once again, I feel like I've put in. If I have not put them in, I feel like I'm close to putting in those 10,000 hours.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
right,
it's just like, getting that creative energy is just like super easy now. You know what I mean? Where it's just like when I'm on, I'm on. It's like, of course, even the best like ball players, even Steph Curry misses shots, but like when he's in that rhythm, it's just like bucket after bucket.
I don't fuck with that light skinned nigga.
Yeah, so it's just like that's
he's
how
on his shit. Yeah.
That's how I feel. It's like once I'm in that zone, it's just
leave him alone. Yeah, leave him alone.
Yeah, so I just feel like it's just such a part of me now that like I feel like I can't even really turn it off.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
What about creative process wise? I mean, like, did your process pretty much remain the same for this album, or like?
I think it's remained the same. Based on like the last few releases. For around the time of Driving While Black, or at least leading up to it. I used to, when I first started, especially, I used to carry around notebooks like that.
Yeah, right.
And just write all the time. And then I'd be writing in my notes app all the time. Now I don't really write as often. Like I'm not writing stuff every day. I'm trying to get back in the habit of it.
Yeah.
But once again, it's like, okay, I have beats. I have my, the theme of the album. I have the beats. I understand like where I want to go with like storytelling and things like that. And then once I'm in that zone, it's just like just knocking it out. You know what I mean? So I think I'm actually much more efficient now than I have been.
Efficiency, the efficiency. We're just like kind of getting in there.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was always taught, coming up. And this is advice to any artist, right? It's like, studio sessions usually, unless you just got the home set up or at your homie's crib, like usually, you're getting charged by an hour. You know what I mean? By an hour. So it's like, I want to knock out as much as I can.
Spit that shit, nigga.
Yeah, I want to knock out as much
because we on the clock.
Right. So I'm like, all right, cool. I got all this stuff written. I got the beats. I got all the files and everything. It's like, okay, how much time do I think I need? Maybe like 4 or 5 hours. I'll go in there and easily knock out like 10 plus songs. Yeah.
Damn, yeah.
I try to be very efficient.
Yeah. No, I mean, bro, like that's bro, man, like obviously in like some extreme cases, but like you said, they get paid by the hour.
Yeah.
Dudes may walk in there with not even a song,
right.
half a song. Like, damn.
Right.
Like that's a crazy spot to be
in.
Like
wasting time.
Yeah.
In that realm.
No, facts.
Take full advantage of the time that I have. Because sometimes it's even hard just for life and everything to really set aside like, several hours to be able to go to the studio. You know what I mean? So like for me, when I have that opportunity, I would take full advantage of it.
Nah, facts, man. Just kind of dive into just collabing with Big Jerm, bro. Like what about this album made you want to reach out to Jerm?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've just been a fan, listening to, work he's done with Mac and Wiz and just like even other artists. Like he's got credits with like, Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah,
like
his credits are crazy,
goes
bro.
on and on. You know what I mean? Jizz,
Grammy nominated.
So
dog, like, crazy.
Yeah, I just wanted to reach out and see like what was up. And he was just really open to working with me.
Did you already have that line with him, but like was there a report like straight up like a cold reach?
I mean, I just reached out and like, hey,
cold reach is crazy. Yeah, flat. That's good.
All right, cool. You know what I mean? Price wasn't bad, and then we just kind of kept going from there. And the next thing I knew, I had like 10 songs. You know what I mean? So, or 10 plus songs, I should say. And yeah, that was really it.
Like, damn, that's pretty crazy. I mean,
beat that I got, made the cut, I would say. So,
yeah, no, I mean, bro, shout out to Jerm for even just being like that dope and like that cool. Yeah, nah, facts.
And he seemed to be, invested as well to make sure that, because he recorded me and did all the mix and master and everything, so he was invested in making sure that it sounded as good as possible too.
Yeah, it was so like were these in personally? Because like I know like with the way music is like nowadays, excuse me, you don't got to be in the same room, let alone like the same country or somebody. You know what I mean? So like, was it like a lot of that, or like did you like have like any in-person sessions?
Well, in terms of on like creative side, like writing and everything, like all the beats he had, like were already made. And
I'm sure,
writing. I mainly just write at home.
Fair play.
I take my completed verses to the studio, but he did all the we recorded everything together basically.
Okay.
So it was really cool being able to like meet in person and then just kind of get right to work. You know what I mean?
Definitely, bro. And it's just crazy because, bro, like I saw that credit, I'm just like, yo, Jerm, literally the Mac ad lib played in my head. He's like, yo, Big Jerm. I'm like, damn, man. So no, thank you so much for breaking that down, bro.
It was a cool, moment. Kid growing up in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely, full circle, bro.
Like you said, full circle.
Shit is crazy, bro. And I also want to thank you, Jordan, man, for just sharing your story, about your career, about the label, man. I think, again, for people who may not be familiar, I think it's just going to be, super dope to see you kind of like, look at your story and just like, see how far you come, man. But this is the part in the pod, bro, where the floor is yours, man. If you want to promote anything, any performances from the label, your performances, projects, where they can find you if you want to be found, man. All yours, man. But thank you again so much for coming through, bro.
Find me if I want to be found.
Nah, because some people like they trying to they trying to stay low, bro. So but yeah, man, now the floor is yours, bro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Well, obviously, you can follow me on Instagram at Jordan Montgomery _. You can follow Driving While Black at DWB Records. It's the same on Facebook, X, Instagram and everything. But yeah, man, that's where all the updates are, and more music and stuff on the way, which is always working.
Hell yeah, no, bro. Thank you so much again, bro. Listen, episode 131, the Masters in Creation podcast, where everyone is a master of their own creation. We got Jordan Montgomery in the building, bro. And we're out, man. Peace.
Thank you.